Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and in today's bass guitar lesson I want to show you how to integrate arpeggios into your bass line, and also a device that I call the Arpeggio slide hack, which will take arpeggios from being an academic exercise to something that sounds super cool. If that sounds good, make sure you check out this lesson all the way to the end. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and today's bass guitar lesson is all about showing you how to integrate arpeggios into your bass lines. I'm also going to show you a thing called the Arpeggio slide hack, which is a little device which allows arpeggios to sound super cool. One of the things that I see time and time again with my students is they often practice scales and arpeggios and modes, etc. in isolation as technical exercises, and often find them hard to apply it to their real world bass lines. So what I'm going to do today is take you through 5 examples of how to apply arpeggios to a simple 1-6-4-5 pop chord sequence. Before we hit the lesson content, I want you to know that there is a completely free PDF which comes with this lesson, so you can see everything we discussed today written out in standard notation and tab. Also, the backing track that we're using today is called Taking It Home. That is available to Bass Lab Plus members in the backing track fold. If you want to grab your free 14-day trial, make sure you just jump over to ebassguitar.com to get going today. So Taking It Home uses the chords C, A minor, F and G, and this is literally the basis of hundreds if not thousands of pop songs. So what I'm going to do is put a simple pop bass groove to it, which sounds like this, which is going to be our basis for the whole lesson, and absolutely everything we're going to cover in these 5 examples is going to relate directly back to that groove. So I'm going to play it with the backing track now so you get a good idea of what we're aiming for to begin with. 2, 3. So let's talk through the 4 arpeggios that we're going to use right now. The first one is a C arpeggio, which is going to be C, E, G, C, like that. And then A minor, which is going to be A, C, E, A, like that. Then down to the F, which is going to be F, A, C, F, like that. And then the G is going to be G, B, D, G. Now the arpeggio slide hack is all about refingering this very slightly, and what I like to do is actually slide in to the 3rd of each arpeggio by refingering this very slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go C, and then I'm going to slide forward to the E like that, and then catch the G under our first finger, and that slide is what starts to make this bass line sound sexy. And then we can do that with the A minor, like that, and then to the F, slide into the 3rd chord, and then the G. So this is all about just changing our fingering very slightly, and that adds a little articulation which sounds really, really cool. So let me give you a bass line now which uses this device. We're just going to use the root, the 3rd and the 5th of each chord. So we are going to leave the first 2 notes of the groove identical, and then change to the 3rd and the 5th of the arpeggio on the 3rd and the 5th beat, 3rd and the 4th beat of each bar, which is going to sound like this. And then we're going to take that through each of the other 4 chords. F. So let's try that with the backing track so you know what it sounds like in context. 2, 3. move on to the second example now. What we're going to do is we're going to leave the groove exactly the same as it was right at the beginning. So, and then we're going to use the third and the fifth as a little fill on beats 4 and 4 and, which sounds just like this. Super effective because the fundamental groove remains identical. So let's try this with the track so you can hear it in context.
2, 3.
So let's take this on a stage now and use the full arpeggio. So we're going to use the root, we're going to slide forward into the third, the fifth is going to be under our first finger, and the octave is going to be under our first finger as well. So the first note is going to be placed on the first beat of the bar, and then the third is going to be placed on beat 2 and, the fifth on beat 3, and then on beat 4 we're going to have the octave, and then we're going to pull back like that to the fifth again on beat 4 and. So we end up with this bass line. Okay, let me take it through all 4 chords now with the backing track so you can hear this line in context.
2, 3.
Guys, if you're enjoying this lesson, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and check out the Bass Lab Plus. The Bass Lab Plus is a step-by-step end-to-end program designed especially for beginner to intermediate bass players. If you're enjoying this lesson, there is a course with more lessons just like this called the Rock, Pop and Motown Bassline Creation course, which takes apart all of these sorts of ideas. So whether you're just starting out playing bass, or you're returning to the bass guitar after many years off, or you just love the sound of the bass and it's just one of those instruments which sounds really cool to you, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar.com and grab your free 14-day trial for the Bass Lab Plus. So in example number 4, I'm going to show you how to slide into other notes in the arpeggio. So far we've only slid into the third, but there's absolutely no reason why you can't slide into the fifth and the octave too. So we're going to create this bass line now. Which has a slight Motown flavour to it. So let me talk you through each of the notes individually. This starts off on the root, and then on beat 2 and we slide into the fifth, and then on beat 3 we hit the octave, and then on beat 3 and we hit the fifth, and what I'm doing is I'm just gently barring across like that, and then on beat 4 we hit the third, which is hit directly under our fingers like this, and then we go back to the fifth like this. So we end up with this bass line on the last 2 beats of the bar, like that. So let me play the whole line. So let's try in context and take it through all 4 of the chords now with the backing track.
2, 3.
For example number 5, and to wrap up this lesson, I want to show you how to create a riff using the arpeggio as a basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out every single 8th note of the bar and create this bass line. 1, 2, 3, 4. This can work really great when you want to ramp up the energy in the big chorus towards the end of the song. So let me take each note apart one by one. So we're going to start off with 2 C's, and then we're going to slide into the E, and then the G, and then 2 C's in the octave like that. So we have, and then to finish the riff off, we are going to play the 5th and the 3rd like this. And we can take that idea through all 4 of the other chords. Don't forget, the whole of this idea is written out in the free PDF which comes with this lesson. So let me play you this idea with the backing track so you can hear it within context. Then I'm going to let loose a little bit and jam so you can see some of the ideas that I would naturally play over this chord sequence.
2, 3.
So guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed the lesson, make sure you download the free PDF workbook. There's a link in the description below where you can see all of the exercises that we've covered today written out in standard notation and tab. If you're looking to push your bass playing onto that next stage, make sure you check out the Bass Lab Plus membership over at eBassGuitar for a step-by-step, easy to understand bass guitar program. You can join today free with a 14-day trial by clicking the link in the description below. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com. I'll catch you next time.